Yo, what's up guys? My name is Ahmed Sohail and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to design solar PV systems using OpenSolar. It's a free online tool that is specifically designed to help you create the solar PV systems. Of course, there are many other softwares that are available out there and is used majority in the industry such as Helioscope and PVsyst. Those two softwares are they offer a free trial, 14 days or 30-day free trial. After that, you have to purchase these softwares. And the reason why they're great software for designing solar PV is due to the fact that they can offer detailed system analysis, especially on for shading, system losses, generating report analysis, allowing you to choose wide range of different system components for you to have a more in-depth generation of how the solar will operate, and just the uh, economic background of how the solar system will cost, and what what are the other factors that you might need to design using the software. But for using a low level, not too accurate results that PVsyst and Helioscope offer, Open Solar is a great tool that a beginner can use as a start to learning how to mess around and design, just to give an idea of what the system will generate if you were to design or install in practical real life, just to give you a good knowledge and idea of what to expect when designing it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So you open Google and you just type in Open Solar right here, and you open the first link, opensolar.com, solar design proposal software. Once you have that open, you can see the website is right there. Um, you know, you can obviously open an account. So when you open an account, you can enter your company name, whatever company you're working for. You can either type in home, your university name, if you're a student, select a country region, enter your phone number, postcode. You can ignore that, just put zero if you want, provide your email, password, and that's pretty much it. Just click the button, create account, and it's free of charge. Like I said, it's a great tool just to learn about the basics in case someone needs to have an idea of what solar is and what you can and cannot provide when designing one. So, all right, so I'm gonna log in. I already have my account open, so after entering the email and password, you pretty much end up with this main page. This is the address bar that where you will enter the address of the location where you want to install your solar PV, where you would like to have it. So after having the address we have, you can go to the projects tab. These are the past projects I've done on Fiverr, where I've offered clients freelancing services on solar. So I've designed a couple. So yeah, after entering the address, I'm gonna just choose a random test location, test address. It's a random one in America. As you can see, this is the page that will open up the info tab, which is the address. Like I said, it's a random one, 5000 S South Arizona Mills, Tempe, postcode 85282, United States, latitude, longitude. So this is the information that you're provided with. You can enter the name, first name, family name, phone, email for the client. I know I'll just give it a name, test video, and you can save it. So after that, once you've got the site details as well, you can enter whether it's a residential, commercial, what roof type it is, what type of roof they have, number of stories, number of building story they have, setbacks, any precautions needed, a system summary will later on about installations permits. So we'll go to the energy tab. In the energy tab, you can see there are this is the default value, the annual usage, 12,588 kilowatt hours. I'm just gonna stick with this one for now, but you can mess around. You can enter your annual consumption in kilowatt hours, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, daily, annual bill. monthly bill, estimate low, medium, high, hourly interval. This is a graph that it'll generate for you the values here yearly, and automatically when you create the project based on the location, the address, it will automatically give you the utility for that location, or yeah, for that location. So in this case it's SRP APS for Arizona, I believe. So it's already provided for you automatically, so you don't have to mess around with anything. So after you're done with the energy, you've entered the measurement and the correct detail, you can go to the design tab where you will be designing the solar system. Now the great thing about open solar is, uh, I have to add, is the fact that it offers a 3D view of the location. It only offers in America. Um, in other countries, let's say if I enter my country, Pakistan, it doesn't provide a 3D view. It just provides a 2D Google image, like you would normally find in Google image view. So not much accuracy and estimate of how many panels you can provide and add. So you won't really get a much better view idea. But with uh, 3D view in America, American region, it's great for you to have the idea of how the building is, the roof structure, the design, the objects as well. You can see the trees, the shading of the trees as well on the roof, so you can avoid installing solar panels. Well, as you can see in this case, the roof has solar panels on them, but the trees, of course, the shade is blocking the solar panels. There's also the roof objects, chimneys, any other objects you can see that provide shading as well. So you can also avoid that, avoid putting solar panels on them. So, all right. So once I'm gonna choose this house just for conveniency. This is a typical standard house. We're gonna go with this one. On the left, you see the summary of the system, hardware system. Just a typical summary of what the system will look like or generate. This is the solar panel section. Uh, which solar panels you want to choose: Jinko, LG, Sony, Longi. Yeah, so you can choose the rating, inverter, efficiency, battery, which battery you want, and then the other things, the pricing, incentives, payment options. Yeah, so I'm gonna ignore that for now. The main thing is to let's look at the location that we have. So as you can see, facing the north, so the north view right there. Of course, if you want to create, let's say, roof objects that are going to obstruct, or to hinder the solar panels, on the top right, under the save, there's a design mode. Oh, one more thing. In the 3D view, the 3D model, it will provide you an auto shade calculation. So if I have solar panels installed, it will automatically give me how much sun access the solar panels will be having, how much shade, the solar panel will be receiving yearly. So that's another good thing. Auto pitch detection. So automatically it will detect what angle, the tilt angle the solar panel will have to be according to the roof design and the tilt, the slope of the roof that is already there. Auto azimuth and scale determination. So yeah, like the azimuth, the orientation of the solar panels, what degrees it'll be adjusted, that'll be automatically done for you. No need to draw the roof facets. You don't have to draw the roof, design the area for the roof. So for example, if I go to the advanced mode, you can see there's a roof option where you can design the roof yourself. How what's the area of the roof, for example. If I just click on roof, placing mode, place anywhere. So from one corner, I go click here. Let me left click here, just a corner, just so play around. It's not really accurate, but just to give you an idea. And you can see, there you go. You have the azimuth 319.92, slope 5.97, area 193.58 meters squared, height 3.395 meters. And you can also mess around with it. You can see the angles that they have, the roof, 96 degrees, 85. Yeah, you can definitely mess around with it, adjust the height, the length, and whatnot. So you know it's gonna delete this real quick. Right, so After the roof, there's a tree trimmer. A tree trimmer, I think that's, if it's a tree blocking, let's say this tree, that is like covering this part of the shade, you can put it right there so it can cut the tree and, some clip it for you. And yeah, you can also, resize it, reshape it, however you want to rotate it. You can move it around, you can do, yeah. So pretty much, just to help you out much as possible. For the tree trimmer, that's another option. Obstruction, that's the, like I said, the chimney or any other rooftop objects that are, blocking your obstruction. You can put that there. Tree, so you can add a tree, just for aesthetic purposes. If you want to decorate, add a tree. Uh, oh, it's right there. One second, let me increase the height and the length of the tree. And yep, there you go. There's the tree. You can place it here if you want. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just there for decoration purposes, really. Not too fancy. Just, let me delete that. So there you go. You have a tree you can add. There's annotation. Annotation, just placing any objects, numbers here and there, labeling, wire, in case there's any wiring or drawing around the roof or and the other great thing is the roof. You can also, if there's a default structure of the roof that is a design of an A-frame, ours is not. It's a mix of A-frame and a hip. So you can, if there's a house that already has a hip shed A-frame, or automatically you can just click on it and place the points or the corners of the roof, and it will automatically design you one. I'll just give you a small demonstration example of what it's look like. So you can see, create a simple A-frame roof, step one. So click one corner here, then step two, click another corner. I'm just gonna click one here, and then place another one parallel to it. So a third one right here, and boom, you can see the roof is it's pretty much created for us. Let me move it around. Of course, this is not a accurate, roof design, as you can see, but just, if you already have one in this shape, in this structure, you can definitely, yeah, move it around, play with it. So, yeah. All right, let me just delete this. So now that, you know, you have the basic idea of what is what and how to design or create an obstruction. So let me create an obstruction right there, placing an obstruction right here. So let me just resize it, reshape it. You know, Also, if you want to view this and moving around in 3D, right click and just hover your mouse to where you would like to get the best view, and then left click to move the cursor or the image of the roof, away from it so you can see it. Left click and right click just to, yeah, get the better view. Anyways, so I'm just gonna increase the size. Let me just make sure I get the right length, whatnot, move it around. Uh, so yeah, this is how you normally create an object. You can also zoom in. Zooming in, you have to scroll using the scroll button. So scroll in and out for the zoom. I'm gonna make the thickness, as you can see, place it down, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it, really. Oh, nope, I still missed a spot. Yeah, that side. Of course, there's also different structure of the obstruction. So if I right click on that obstruction, the list appears of the shape where you want a sphere, cube, cylinder. So if I go with sphere, I think sphere is much better. It's a better idea, but you can have a cube as well. Um, a cube is also better, you know, because our obstruction has the shape of a cube. So I think for cube will be better in this case. Let me just quickly provide it. Let me rotate this thing. You can also mess around with the options on the left. So when you click on the object or the obstruction, on the left you have the length, the width, the height, rotation. You can mess around with it there if you want. Takes a bit of while to get used to it, making sure you get the right length, the right area to cover the obstruction. Um, see. Oh, is that good? Nope. I forgot that spot, which is why again 3D view of the roof. Right click and just view it around, see what's the best view, the angle you'll like to have. So I think this is the best one so far. And you can add another obstructions here and there. Um, let me just create another one. This one won't take much time. Just simply place it there, and I think that's pretty much it. Not much to it. Yeah. And you can also, if you want to make a duplicate, you can just click on duplicate here, mix another one, and place it right here. And yeah, there you have it. I mean, these are the objects. You can save it as well, your work along the way, save. So, all right, so now that we have the objects, time to place the solar panels. So I go to the panels addition right there, the plus sign. You can choose which panels. Like I said, I'm gonna go with the 335 LG electronics at 335 watts. Just why not? You can go with whatever you want. Also, there's not much options to which you would like to have. Other brands or manufacturing brands, such as Trina, maybe Canadian, other Chinese brands, solar brands. I don't know if you can add them in the list, but these are already based on the US region solar panels that they provide. So I'm just gone with this one. So yeah, so now just click on add a panel, and you can see that you can change the orientation of the solar panel, whether you want it portrait, landscape. Portrait is better for roof because it has more space. You can add more panels compared to landscape. Landscape is better for commercial or utility scale projects that are, large utility scales where you have lots of land and area to put solar panels, and especially on the ground mounted, so it's much easier to add. But for the rooftops, for residential, landscape is not the way to go. Portrait is better. I much prefer portrait. And yeah, so I mean, once you place a solar panel, you can have the option to add more multiple panels, above, horizontally, vertically. And once you do add one, you can see that the panel automatically, like I said, provides you the correct azimuth angle, 168.5, compared to the slope of the roof. And and the slope of the roof is 17.7 degrees, or the tilt angle of the solar panels. So I'm not going to mess around with it. Of course, you can edit and adjust it uh, by clicking the edit option right here. Now, normally the solar panels, that if you were to install them in real life, the general rule of thumb is to install them at an angle of your chosen location. And if your chosen location has an altitude of, let's say, 35 degrees, then it's best to put your solar panel at that angle of 35 degrees, just because that's where it'll be mostly provide the best energy production during the day. But yeah, I mean, the open solar software is giving me this angle, tilt angle, due to the slope angle of the roof, so it's convenient. I'm not gonna mess around with it. And yeah, portrait or landscape, the orientation, like I said, portrait is much convenient. You can have landscape if you want. So yeah, you can move around as well. As you can see, moving around. I want to have it not too close to the edge of the roof. If I do move it closer to the edge of the roof, you can see the azimuth and the slope changed from 17.7, I believe, to 19 and 168.3. If I bring it, let's say here, it changes 168.4, 19.1. If I want to have it, for example, on this side, yeah, it's a different slope and azimuth angle. So for now, let me just have it here. Let me just have it here, yeah. And let me add, how many should I add? Let me just keep on adding them. Uh, let's let's add, yeah, we'll add seven. So seven solar panel. That's one array, or one group, or a string of solar panels, seven of them, having the azimuth of 167.8, 18.3 degrees. Racks is basically the the trailing racks that you would install on the roof, and how many you would like to have, how many solar panels would you like to have on that particular rack. So if I have, let's say, five racks, that means I would have five racks, either by row, and then you'd place them, solar panels, according to that, and they will be at an angle. The racks, 5, 10, 15, 20, they'll be at a certain position. Obviously, there's more options. You can provide gap, the, the distance between them. For example, if I say 0.5 vertically, um, there's a spacing distance. You can also, you know, let me put a spacing between them, 0 0.5, for example. Yeah, so there's also spacing between them, horizontally and vertically. Clearance is how far above you want them. Solar panels above the roof. If you want to go higher above the ground, above the roof, let's say 0 0.5. So you can see, yeah, pretty much it's above. Oh, wait, one second. It's this roof, the tree is blocking the view. Let me just get a closer angle. Scroll in, zoom in, just make sure you want to get the best angle. Feel free to look around. Normally, that's not how the solar panels will be installed on the roof, as in the real world application, but normally around zero point 0.2 meters above the ground, above the roof, due to the racks that are going to be installed, the bolts, the railings. So yeah, I think zero point 0.2 meters, um, it's 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 feasible, it's understandable. So after having them installed, another great thing about this software, the Open Solar tool, is the 3D version, the 3D view that in America it offers you, the region, is that it'll provide you, like I said, the shading uh, analysis. Before I go to the shading analysis, in the advanced layout, you can look at the elevation auto. It's basically giving the option of how many modules you like to have per row. If you want to have more modules per row, tracking mode, if you want to have an axis, horizontal tracking, back tracking. If you have a solar tracking, it provides you with a yeah, it provides you with a tracking, solar tracking, that you can install on your roof. It's much efficient, but it's expensive to have and to maintain. The ground cover ratio, it's basically showing the ratio from the ground to the roof, how much you're covering. The solar panels are covering the roof. Offset, that's basically showing the solar panels like to offset. I'm not too sure what that is. Roof placement, panel placement. So yeah, where you like to have the panels on the roof, of course. Shading. So let me go to the shading. This is very helpful. Like I said, this provides you the shading analysis. Make sure to select the shading method to auto, and this will give you the annual beam shading, annual diffuse shading, the shade impact. You can see per month, and the timing, 5 6 a.m., 7 8 9 a.m., all the way till evening. The percentage, as you can see on the right side, and the time zone, 7 hours of, shade impact is not too much. You'll be getting lots of there's no shading, the obstructing, so you can get a lot of solar panel, the sun hours. The green is showing the sun impacting the solar panels. The green dots you can see on the solar panels as well. The three green dots horizontally, and the gray line is perpendicular to the solar panels at the angle, the slope. Yeah, so the green is indicating good. It's very good, 97, 98%. The sun axis as well, the sun axis is very good. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, 97%. Now you might asking, you might wondering, you might wonder why am I installing it here as opposed to installing it there? For example, why not install it here, you know? And if you were to look at the solar panel, um, let me show you. For example, inst let me move around to that side of the roof, opposite side of the roof. You can see that automatically it provides you the azimuth angle, the slope, the shading, 96%. The reason why it's not to have it installed on the north side, as you can see, we're facing the north, is due to the fact that the location where America is, it's in the northern hemisphere and on the western hemisphere. So generally, when you have countries that are in the northern hemisphere and the western hemisphere, it's best to install solar panels opposite to that. So, for example, on the south side, south facing, and on the east facing. So as you can see, the seven solar panels, the group of solar modules, seven group of solar modules, they are installed facing due south. As you can see, well, the way we're looking at it, it's due south. Um, and you can also install them east as well. So if I were to move it around and install it due east, as you can see here, right there facing that side due east. Uh, if you want to have a look, an example of how the other house has solar panels installed, you can see it's also due south and also east. So this is the type of arrangement you want to install. For example, let's say in my country, Pakistan, it's in the northern hemisphere, so you would install solar panels due south, facing south. And that's pretty much it, not too hard. The general rule of thumb. So how many solar panels would I like to have? How many solar panels can I fit? As you can see, this azimuth is 255 degrees, 18.6 slope. So I'm gonna add a couple of more, you know. One, two, three, four, uh, four, five. Yeah, I'll add five solar panels here. And after having five solar panels installed, it will give me the calculation of the shading. As you can see, it's 96%. It did drop. Yeah, it will drop some percentage because of the sun axis and the shade. The tree, maybe the object's tree, for example, there's a couple of shading there. So I mean, apart from that, is not much of an issue. It's pretty good. So yeah, I mean overall, I can install more. As you can see, there's more space for me to create another solar panel array. So, have one here, for example, and I can add another one, for example. I'll just make sure I can add as much as possible, unless if you're someone who can afford the system, that is having 17 panels. So how much shading? So 95%. This one for these panel group 3, 5 modules, it's 95%. This is because I did not I've add in the clearance of 0.2 meters, and after adding that, let's see what we get. Let's see. Uh-huh. 96%. Yeah, so close to what we got before. Uh, in the above panel array. If I do the same thing with this one, adding the clearance of 0.2 meters above the roof, let me see what I get for the shading analysis, the percentage. So this is a good thing to have. As you can see, 97%. Before it was I think 95. We gone up 2%, so 97%. So that's good. 0.2 meters is also Uh, if you think about it again, as I mentioned, having the railings installed, and then you would have the solar panels above the railings, so around some percentage, some meters, 0.2 meters, zero point 0.5 maximum. I don't think 0.5 is gonna happen, but 0.3, 0.4, yeah. So this is the solar panels. I have 17 panels on the roof, you know, and once you have the solar panels here, three strings, three arrays. You can add DC optimizers. DC optimizers are basically um, the devices that are installed at the back of the solar panels, which improve the solar PV generation. In case there's like lower production of one panel, it will increase it for all the panels. They are expensive to have, but it's up to you. You know, it's a luxury item that you would like to have. It's not really recommended to have, but if you want to increase the efficiency and the generation of the solar panels, you can have the DC optimizers to boost the solar panels. So as I go to the summary tab, you can see that the hardware of the solar panels, 5.6, 5.7 kilowatt system, 5.70 kilowatt system. The annual output per year the solar panel will generate is 9,422 kilowatt hours, around 9.4 megawatt hours per year. If you're wondering how they got these values, you basically multiply 5.70 times 365 days to get the annual amount. And this is the energy consumption of the household, the appliances that they're having, 12.5 or 12.6 or 13 megawatt hours per year. And as you can see, this is the price of the solar panels. It will cost total 19,000. Of course, I didn't factor in the account of the inverter and the batteries, but yeah, if you look at the consumption offset percentage, is how much the solar panels will cover the appliances and the loads of the house, which is 75%, which means that the bill reduction annually will be reduced by up to 62 percentage, and the self-consumption of the solar panels operating by itself will be 51%. And as you can see, this graph will show you the timeline from morning 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. The consumption is how the consumption is the running throughout the day. The generation of the solar panels, as you can see, the export to grid, how much it will export back to the grid. The net consumption, as you can see. So if I go to January, February, March, April, May, June, July, as you can see, it's lower during the summer. The reason why is because I haven't added the inverter yet. I will do that, but just giving an idea of what the graph will look like. There's also system losses. System losses, you can look at the irradiance, you know, shading 1.8%, soiling 5%, reflection 3%, bifacial 0, and it shows how much solar panels will generate from the irradiance of the system losses. The module efficiency 19.6%, DC losses 7.8% for the module deviation, snow nameplate first degradation 3%, module mismatch 2%. All these stuff have an AC inverter have not added that, so we can just look at it. You know, the losses general, not too bad. Advanced, look at how the system is lifetime of the system, 25 years, 20 years. That's up to you how do you want to, if you want to configure or modify it. So yeah, after that you want to add the inverter. So the inverter efficiency 96%, 97%. I'm going to go with 97%. um you know what, let's go with 98%. 98% is much better. And which one should I add? You can add, of course, there's not much options, as you know, it's only giving me the manufacturer inverter for America. Fronis, I'll go with a 6,000 watt Primo. So, and for the stringing, the connection, the good thing is it provides you by itself. It automatically does it for you. In the 3D version, it's a quick string beta. It'll instantly apply inverter and stringing to your system. This can jumpstart your electrical designs, particularly for larger systems, but it is important to manually review and update the results. In 2D view, 2D version of the system, this design in the design model, your it doesn't provide you the quick string beta of designing it for you. You have to manually attach the solar panels string by string. So I'm not gonna do that here. I'm just gonna default inverter range, yeah, Primo 6.0, and then quick string beta, click on that, and you know, as you can see, it'll do it by itself, provide you the DC to AC ratio for each solar panel array. As you can see, it's, you know, the design, the construction, the connection of the solar panels. It's done. So as you can see, it's giving me a warning sign. Inverter's oversized. DC to AC ratio is less than 75%. Please consider adding more panels to the inverter or choosing a smaller inverter. So in this case, I oversized my inverter, having a higher rating of the solar panel of the inverter. It's so I'm gonna choose a less rating. I've chosen a lower rated inverter, Fronius 2000 watt, which has rating of 1.6 kilo 1.68 kilowatt, total panels 5 panels, number of MPPTs 1, rated output power of 2 kilowatts, DC input voltage range 120 to 420 volts, MPPT voltage range 120 to 335 volts. Okay, maximum panels per inverter based on inverter power 7, 4 to 7. Okay. So yeah, so this one has 5 string 5, and then the 5000 watts Fronis inverter power of 4.2 kilowatts, total panels 12, number of MPPTs 2, 5 kilowatt rated output power, DC input voltage range 80 to 600 volts, MPPT voltage range 80 to 400 volts, and yeah, so we have the best configuration. Obviously, it's giving us a warning that the inverter is slightly oversized, um, but it's not too much of an issue due to the fact that we have a 5.70 kilowatt solar system array, and from that we have an inverter that has, I think, around what, 5 kilowatt, 5.68 inverter rating. So yeah, I think it's pretty good, decent. I've added the battery. So for the battery, you can go to the battery section, add in the battery. I've gone with the LG Energy Solution 6.5 kilowatt hour. So one battery is enough for off-grid. If the grid doesn't go out that much, and based on your needs, you can mess around with it. But other components you can add, like I said, DC optimizers, solar charge controllers, whatnot. This is a pricing incentives. You can mess around with it. But the summary here is, you know, um, price of the system $20,000, 907.50, included tax. Purchase price 20,007 cash. System size 5.70 kilowatt. Annual output 9,386 kilowatt hours. And yeah, so I mean, it's generating less than the energy consumption of 13 megawatt hours. This is generating 9.4 megawatt hours. So there's a difference, yeah, 5 megawatt hours, but as you can see, it's covering 75% of your house consumption offset. It's reducing your bill 60%, and self-consumption 73%. So as you can see, with the battery adding, you can get the storage during the winter, the consumption, and the net consumption. You can see how much is generating and how much is exporting to the grid. January, February, March, April, May. As you can see in the summer, it's doing its bit, you know. Um, but yeah, this is this is a good analysis, a good review indication of what to expect. Obviously, you can go for the higher rated solar panels. I've gone with which it's 365 rated solar panels. Uh, which solar panels? Yeah, 335 watts. You can go with a higher rated 400 watts. 400 watts, 545 watts. 335, 365. So yeah. So after that, so once you have your system all ready to go, you can save it. I already saved it, so let me save it. And yeah, head to the online proposal. For the online proposal, it'll basically, if you want to send it to someone, show it to someone for a client, review it. So yeah, it's the client's name, dear test. Continue the proposal. It will generate the idea. So how much percentage it will cover your house? 75% consumption offset. It's this value. The currency is it's in rupees Pakistani because they have the account it was created. So and the location, the country region. I chose Pakistan, of course. But if you choose your own country, it'll give you your own currency value. The net cost of the system, how much savings you'll generate over life size. So as you can see, this is the image of how the system will be designed, installed. Your solution, LG solar panels, 5.7 kilowatts total solar panels, 17 335 watt rated, generation of 9.4 megawatt hours per year. Inverter, 7 kilowatt total inverter rating, one 2000 watt and one 5000 primo. And I mean, if there is a 4000 watt inverter, I would have gone for the 4000 watt, so that it'll give me around 6000 kilowatt. But this will give me 7 kilowatts, which is why it was giving me a warning of oversized. But yeah, battery LG solution 6.5 kilowatt hours. I've gone with one. You can have another one if you want, if you would like. But this is how the graph depicts the generation. You can see and the consumption. It's covering pretty much. Of course, it's not covering the how much I would like to cover for the house, but it does its job, you know, for 17 solar panels. Each year, 75% of CO2, 4.3 tons avoided of CO2 per year. Over system lifetime, 81,854 car miles avoided, 844 trees planted. Yeah, and you can see how the system works. If there's generating excess solar, the solar provides the grid, battery to the home, partially offset usage. If it needs some electricity from the grid or from the battery, it'll take it. And at night, the solar won't be running. It'll be taken from the battery, the grid. So yeah, this is how it look like. The savings. So older bill, $124 you'll be paying. The new bill you'll be paying $48 monthly. So per month, and then the savings per year. Year one, you'll be generating savings of $917. 5 years from now, $4,000. 10 years, $10,000. 15 years, 16,000. 20 years, $24,000. So yeah, this is the savings you'd get. This is the charges, utility rate for SRP, the location, this is the tariffs, fixed charges, billing, the net financial impact of utility bill savings versus the net system cost, around how much savings you'll get. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it really. Once you've got the proposal, you can PDF, get the PDF version and send it, download it. And yeah, that's pretty much how to use Open Solar. You can mess around with it. It's not too much fancy, complex where you have to, look into detailed of which type of component to choose, look into the efficiency rating, the shading, the economics and whatnot. So this is the overall simple, basic user interface for anyone to have an idea, general information, knowledge of what solar panels and how to install them. So yeah, this is the PDF version of how this will look like, and this is the financial savings generation right there per year, per month, right there. And yeah, that's all. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to comment, like, subscribe to my video to make sure you receive future videos. I will be providing hopefully another tutorial like this on PVSys. Uh, and yeah, if you would like me to do another type of video tutorial or educational video on grid or hybrid, do let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, without further ado, I'll leave you to it. Take care, stay safe, until next time. Bye bye.